We've talked about homes, we've talked about water, let's talk about cars. I want to get your thoughts on the state legislature raising the gas tax, raising the vehicle license fee. Was that a good thing, bad thing?
Well, I think you have to start with the underlying premise for it, which is that we haven't been doing the fix-up of our roads that's been necessary for quite some time. We've had an awful lot of dangerous roads. We've had roads that haven't been repaired, and there was a crying need to do it. Now, one of the things that we've felt for a long time is that obviously the way that the legislature chose to raise this money was largely from a gas tax. One of the things that we felt for a long time, and if you look at what I've done over the past 7 years, is, I've either co-chaired 3 props, all of which, no on Prop 23, Prop 39, and Prop 56. Prop 39 and Prop 56 were direct fights with industry where they weren't paying their fair share. Prop No on 23 was to protect the cap and trade legislation, which was also money from industry for the citizens of California. So one of the questions in California, as we need revenue for things like fixing up roads, which we need to do, I think everybody agrees, we can't have the roads fall into complete disrepair. The question is, where do we get the money to do it? I thought it was a great accomplishment that they could get that done. The question that I think we should always ask as Californians is, are the corporations here paying their fair share? And if you look at the oil companies in California, they do not, this is the only state where they do not pay a fee for pulling a barrel of oil out of the ground. Texas does it, Louisiana does it, Oklahoma does it, North Dakota does it, Alaska does it. Those are 5 bright red Republican states, and they all charge the corporations for that, and we don't. Question is, why are they getting such a free ride?
Yeah, because the gas tax, the counter argument, people said, well, there are already funds dedicated to roads, and the legislature wasn't responsible in paving the roads with that money. And it's the other counter argument is that for people in the lower economic bracket, as you might find here in Fresno County, that kind of puts the burden on them. And is that fair to them to raise the gas tax for money that should be there?
Look, all I can say is if you look at the 3 propositions that I co-chaired and all of which we won on, they were all about trying to get corporations to pay their fair share. And that's something we feel really strongly about because we feel like it's easier to tax the people because they're not organized and they're not an organized special interest. But from our standpoint, it's really important to have the willingness to stand up and fight the special interests.
Finally, I'm not going to ask you whether you're running for governor or not because I'm afraid what the answer might be. But I will ask you, what goes in that decision for you? What will be the tipping point for you to say yes or no, I'm running or not running?
Look, I'm the father of 4 kids between the ages of 23 and 28. I feel as if we are in a national crisis on a number of vectors. I think we're in a constitutional crisis in terms of protecting the rights of Americans. I think we're in an inequality crisis because I think we are at historic differences in terms of people who make a lot of money and normal working people, and that's something that I think is extremely dangerous for our democracy as well as being deeply unjust. And I think it's really hard to look at this world and not understand that we're in a climate crisis. So when I think about being a father and thinking about what I want my kids to think about what I did and my responsibilities to them and all the other people our age, to the next generation and the next generation after that, I feel like what I am doing right now and what I did in 2016 was to work to try and address those crises through our democracy. So whatever I do, it is going to be to try and have the most positive impact on that. And it is really a question of figuring out how do you do this in this extremely complicated and multifaceted federal system? What is the way to have the most impact? If you really believe, the way I do, that we're in a crisis here and it's important for everybody to pitch in. And my goal is to try and figure out how to pitch in the best way I can.
Well, the time's ticking, so if you're going to make a decision, do you have a timetable when you're going to make that decision by?
I don't, but I understand that in fact the time is going by.
All right, Tom Steyer, thank you so much for stopping by and enjoy Fresno.
Thank you, David. Thank you for having me.